Everyone's heard the expression, two heads are better than one, and I think that's especially true when it comes to characters in movies. Character duos, whether it be police partners or partners in crime, are great more than just a single character can be. Having two main characters that the audience follows allows the movie to compare their traits and makes the effects of character growth more obvious. With that being said, I'm going to look at a few different types of character duos in films and talk about what makes them so special. One of the most common character relationships in police movies is when the new cop is partnered with the veteran cop who is about to retire, and their differing views lead to conflict on a case. Mismatched partners are a staple of the buddy cop genre, appearing in films like Lethal Weapon, Seven, and Rush Hour. Each of these films approach the idea of mismatched partners differently, with Rush Hour playing it up for laughs, while Seven uses it to show character growth, but this relationship is best shown in Lethal Weapon, which uses the differences in character for both humor and emotional character growth. In Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson plays an erratic cop who has no problem using his gun, while Danny Glover plays an older cop who likes to keep situations calm. Their differing views lead to them butting heads early on in the film, and neither liking the other. Mel Gibson's character frequently solves problems in wild, out-of-the-box ways, which bothers Danny Glover's character because it's not what he's used to, and he thinks the approach is too aggressive. Eventually, Gibson and Glover grow closer in the climax of the film, as Gibson has saved Glover's daughter who has been kidnapped. In the final scene of the movie, Gibson eats dinner with Glover's family and tells him that his mental state has been improved, showing that the two are now on equal ground. This final scene is the most important part of the relationship's growth. Gibson started the film erratic and untrustworthy, ending the film healed as a result of working with Glover, while Glover began the film unhappy and wary of Gibson before finally accepting him at the end of the movie as a result of Gibson helping him to save his daughter. The mismatched partners relationship in movies is interesting because the two characters will start off so different, and you get to see their perspectives change, and by the end of the film, both characters are stronger than they were at the start. This relationship also makes it easier to see character growth than just a single main character, because you can compare both characters against the other rather than just comparing a character to themselves earlier in the film. A relationship that's really common in crime movies is when the two main characters are friends. This duo relationship allows character dialogue to be more casual than something like the cops in Lethal Weapon, and also allows the audience to feel closer to the character duo since they have such a tight bond. This relationship is used really well in movies like Goodfellas and Once Upon a Time in America, with gangster characters growing up together and eventually dying as a result of their lifestyle, leaving one gangster to reflect on his friends' lives. But to me, it's best used in Thelma and Louise. The movie is just two women who leave their husbands to go on a road trip together and turns into them running from the police for the rest of the movie. The best friends relationship is so engaging in this film because it's just like watching friends hanging out in something like Dazed and Confused, but there's also the layer of them committing crimes freely. The friendly relationship helps draw the audience in and connect with these two women, but it also serves to help the audience empathize with their crimes in a way that something like Bonnie and Clyde isn't able to. This also helps build on the film's themes of freedom, as the women ignore the structured relationship of their marriage for the more free-form relationship of friendship, and find a greater happiness in this newfound friendship. At the end of the film, when everything is falling apart and they have nowhere left to run, they find joy in the fact that their friendship will always be there, which is a part of what makes this film so memorable. One of the most common character duo relationships in movies is the relationship between the mentor and the mentee. This relationship allows the audience to see a character grow in a certain area of life while also being able to compare the character growth against the mentor who's mastered whatever they're teaching. The dynamic between the mentor and the mentee is also great for a similar reason to the mismatched partners duo. It allows two characters with different perspectives to broaden their horizons and grow. This relationship can be seen in the Rocky movies and in Karate Kid, but I think it's best used in Good Will Hunting. The relationship between Will Hunting and Sean Maguire is so important because it creates the main emotional moments of the film. Will Hunting is incredibly intelligent but is closed off and doesn't like dealing with people, while Sean Maguire is emotionally mature but with his own emotional past. Initially, Will doesn't open up to Sean but instead makes fun of him. As the film goes on, Will and Sean open up to each other, and the film shows great emotional growth for Will Hunting. This mentor relationship is so great because Sean helps Will overcome his inability to open up emotionally, and therefore helps Will grow as a person. Each of the scenes where Will and Sean talk are incredibly well written and provide the emotional backbone of the film as Sean shares his emotional past and Will grows to be more emotionally mature. By the end of the film, it's clear that Will Hunting has grown and matured into almost a completely different character, leaving a memorable impression on the audience that other mentor relationships aren't able to capture. I love when movies feature two main characters rather than just one because it allows for great dialogue and provides a framework for emotional character growth that can't always be achieved with just one main character. With that being said, there are a ton of other great lead character duos in films, so comment your favorite and make sure to subscribe for more film breakdowns weekly.